Hi Witchlings, how are you today? I am good, and I got a couple of messages about resins and what I use them for, so I thought I would quickly, well, I try and be quick, but I'm not always quick, so I thought I would go through with you what I actually use resins for and which ones. So my kids are still home, so if you can hear them in the background, I know school's back for the younger ones. Ours aren't going back until term 3, so they will pop in and out of videos. They're a bit cute, so why not? So charcoal disc is, this is just a small charcoal disc. It's just a bit grubby because it's been sitting on my little plate here. They come in 3 different sizes. I've got all the stuff in front of me. So there's this little tiny mini one, and these here are generally used in things like a hookah, in different cultures. You can use them for a whole range of things. This is what I use them for. They have to be wrapped up this tight because they're a mess. You end up with black stinky fingers, but once it's going, it's fine. So yeah, I'll open all 3 just so you can compare the sizes. The only difference between the size is how long it burns for. So if I just need to do a quick little burn. So this is the 33 centimeter one. That's this one here that I've currently got. And then this here is a 40, mil, not centimeter. That would have been huge, wouldn't it? Over a foot for a charcoal disc. This is probably good. This is the 40 mil. So if you have a look, there's the 3 different sizes just there. So 40 mil, 33 mil, and that one's even tinier. So I'm guessing that's about a 20 mil. What I'm going to do, I'll do the bigger one because it'll probably burn better, but it is just a time thing, that's all. So if you just want a quick little burn, grab a little one. I tend not to buy these. These were a free gift because I brought so much of the other resins. And I tend to use the 33 mil because these are the most popular, and I can't always get the 40 mil, so I do prefer the bigger ones. And I buy in bulk because the amount that I use. So yeah, alright, so what I do, you get a lighter, just make sure it works, and I try and use these lighters, but I find that I tend to get really hot hands. So when burning it, put it onto something metal always. I have mine on a metal, it's just a dish, and then I sit it on top of a plate. If I am on plastic, these here are just some altar discs that I have. It's just a piece of wood, and it just provides that because it does get really, really hot. Other things that I do have cauldrons. I have one of these ones, and I also have a little one. I have quite a few of these. I use these in my classes. They are good, but they're really better for other magic and not for the purposes of what I'm showing you. So yeah, what you do is you just hold it, and you just have to light it. Start with one side, and it will, I'll hold it up so you can see. It sort of fizzes a bit, and that's just the chemicals coming off it. It takes a minute, like it doesn't start burning straight away, and you can sort of see little bits. It does smoke, and see the top how it sort of fizzes over. And so I tend to just hold it there until one side of the charcoal is actually burning and red hot, because then I know it's going. Because quite often I've lit it and I've thought, oh yeah, it's going, but it doesn't actually go, and then I walk back, and it does, like I said, take a few minutes. So yeah, just keep on. And it just has a charcoal fuel smell. Like, this isn't what I'm burning, this isn't the resins, this is just how to keep the resins, how I use to burn the resins. There's many different ways you can do it. You can make resin water, so many things, oils out of them. So it's just, well, let me just keep holding it. I'll just hold it here while I talk. So there's all different sorts of resins, and what you can do is each resin comes in a little, as a small format, and you can just drop it into some oil with some other things, or you can pop it into some hot water and you can seep it, all for magical purposes. So just see how the edge of that is starting to go white. That's what you want, so that you know that it's starting to burn. I've got the sun coming through my window. I hope that's okay. That's kind of what you do. Anyway, so I buy in bulk, as many as I can at a time. And as I mentioned with the resins, I normally get mine from overseas, but Corona. Alright, so this is the Copal resin. Copal, can you see that? Copal. So Copal it's a good one. It's every different resin has a different aroma, a different purpose, a different reason. Looks similar to frankincense. You just pop a little bit on in the center, and if you've heard of amber, the really old amber, this is actually what's known as young amber. So because it's really hard to get proper amber in form, this is actually a young one. It's used to keep mosquitoes away, believe it or not. It's also used to clear the body of disease in certain traditions. It's linked to the crown chakra when meditating, so if you want to do lots of spiritual work. And so it just, I don't know if you can see that, it kind of bubbles. Now this is hot, so don't touch it. If you need to touch it, there's some little tongs you can get. I think you get 2 sets for $1 from Kmart. Oh, I love that smell. Oh, that's good. It's kind of a woodsy scent, a woodsy calming. Some of these are quite heady. This one's not. I can burn this one. I also have a metal spoon. These are just our kitchen spoons. And I have a wooden spoon that I use. It's a bit grubby. And be careful with the wooden spoons because they do burn. But yeah, so don't touch it. Don't think you can flick it off with your fingers. I've done it many times and it always burns. But if you have a look, it's like a hot wax that it becomes. Also, that's copal resin. Oh, it just smells divine. And frankincense. So my frankincense that I use, I have it in jars. I also have mixers. If you can see my jar collection over there, there's a whole range of different ones over there. I tend to make blends, so depending on what I need the blend for. Blends are fun, witchcraft's fun. So this is, and you'll notice the similarity now between the two, except the smell and obviously what they are. So this is frankincense in my left hand, and this one here is copal in my other hand. So you can see how similar, oopsie, dropped it. You can see how similar they are. So frankincense is amazing for grounding and purification, and most of the resins do remove negative energy. Any kind of cleansing tool, I'll just pop a piece on this one so you can watch this one too. Any kind of space. So yeah, it just potters along. Frankincense is amazing. Just like copal, but in a different sense. If you are a healer or anyone using this, be aware of if anyone has any issues with the church or any form of religious upbringing that might not be positive, this will be a massive trigger for them because it is burnt in all churches. It's the one in the Bible that was used, frankincense and myrrh, as a gift. And so there are people who, where this is amazing and calming for me, someone with not such a positive experience with any of that side of life, religion, Catholicism, this will be a horrible trigger for them. So always, whenever you are using something in a scent form in your healings or whatever it is, always just be aware of what it is you're burning and what effect it may have. This one burns and then it gets a burny smell as well. So see how it, so when you are burning this, it does have a little bit of a charcoaly burn to it, but it doesn't melt like the copal does. So also when burning, I always use a feather. This is just one from the cockies down the road. The kids put coloured strings on them and that brings in colour magic for me, for different things that I'm using. Calming purple, obviously. So it's an amazing oil, it's an antiseptic, it's an anti-inflammatory, and I smoke myself out now. I have disconnected the smoke detector in my healing room just for this reason, but I'm going to open the front door. So yeah, just to make sure that I can still breathe later on. And the next one that I have is myrrh. There we go. Myrrh. If you struggle to get resins in bulk, you can buy these. I can't remember how much they cost, maybe about $8 from your local crystal store. I think I bought a few of them from Kimber last year. This here is different to the frankincense, and I will show you. I'll tip it into a little bowl so you can see. It's more of a reddy colour. So if this is my frankincense and the copal was the same, this is the myrrh. Oopsie. It's kind of like a honey calcite colour. It's a really good calming one if you like the scent. Kind of reminds me of my Nana's house. I love you, Nan, if you're watching this, but it's probably why I don't use it a lot. It just has that, as with any of them, you find your scents, you know what works, but it does have a real, a beautiful, loved grandma's house. I'm sorry, Nana. And this one actually bubbles and spits too. I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, I don't want to smell that one anymore. Alright, so see how the disc burns from the outside in? Once it gets to the middle, it's still going to work. I just have to stop that scent. There we go. To stop the scent, I just often put the spoon on top. And so the next one that I have, Dragon's Blood. I always get asked about this. I don't use it to burn, purely on the charcoal disc, purely because the smell is so strong. I use this in witchcraft. I use this in my spells. I'll open it and go so you can see it. But what I do with this resin, it's really strong. It stains, so don't put it onto a white bench top. But it's not from an actual dragon. It's actually from a tree, and the flowers look like dragon heads. So I find this smell just a little bit heady. Yes. It's not a bad smell, it's just a campfire smell. It's not one that I sort of go, oh, this is great, it's calming, it's relaxing, it's going to do the healing that I need. This one here is amazing for sexual potency, spells of protection, and also exorcism with the negative entities, and that quite a few are used for that. But in regards to sexual potency, what I mean is things like you could put this into a little bag and hope on your windowsill and do a spell and hope the lover returns, or it's said to pop it under the mattress and it will help with male impotency. I haven't tried those spells. I don't go down that path with magic. It's just got it actually burns really quick. But so what I do with the resin, this one, why I buy so much of it, I have quite heavy, a mortar and pestle, and I pop some in and I grind it, and I use it as a powder. And it's really hard. I don't know if you can see what's going on in here. Yeah, so that's what I do. Mortar and pestle is great for that, and I use it if someone comes to me for a healing and they have watches or they have things in their aura that I need removed, I do have that I use already made up with other items that I'll burn during the healing just to help remove those other things that they have. The next one is benzoin. So this one here is big rocks. Big rocks. Like, they actually look like rocks. So if you can have a look. Ooh. This one smells like a really nice burning talcum powder. You'll often find this in different marketplaces and things like that being burnt. It brings good luck and peace of mind. If you want to bring in shops and different things like that to bring prosperity to your business, can you see me through all the smoke? It's a dense smoke, this one, and it just bubbles away, if you can see that in there. It's just such a thick, heavy smoked one that I ordered today was Google. So where I had the little this little amber, or looks like amber coloured, in bigger rock form, but it has a different smell and it also has different purposes. So I'll just find a little bit just so I'm not... So, oopsie. I said don't do that because it's hot. It's hot. It's just, again, a little bit of resin. Smells better than the myrrh. It's calm. It smells nicer than, yeah, some of the others, but it's not the frank smell that I love. I am a frankincense girl, but yeah, it's a good one. What I do is I tend to pop it, I will walk around with a room and wave it. I do have a couple of other ones here that I may as well just throw in with you as I'm talking cleansing. One thing I am talking about with all these resins, and I've got some Palo Santo here. This is a wood, and this is used for cleansing as well. I don't use the term smudging purely because smudging it's cultural appropriation. It's really insensitive to their culture. It's like I could do a shaman modality, but I could never be a shaman. Because I am not of the bloodline or an Angari in Indigenous culture, I can never be one because I don't have that bloodline. I don't smudge for that reason. I cleanse. And Palo Santo is very on trend at the moment. It did become endangered species for quite a while. They've now gone into plantation format for it, so you buy it from a reputable supplier. And look, it's the same. The idea behind cleaning a space, and whatever your space is, your object, all of these have different purposes in the magical world, in the spiritual world as well to use. But yeah, like I said, Palo Santo, this is one that it's a wooden stick. You just light the end, and you have to keep it lit and wait till the end is red hot. It does stop, it doesn't go all the way down. Lighting up one that's already been done is different. So when you are using Palo Santo, you do just go around the room and cleanse it. This brings in, it's an amazing scent. It brings in love and light, so it's really healing and calling it. So the abalone is the water, the smoke is the air, the flame is the fire, and the wood is the from the earth. So I was taught to go around the room and call in that way. Like I said, it's great to do that for a cleanse. It's just another form. There's no right or wrong in what you use. I also have sage. So sage are these giant big bundles a lot of people buy, and then what they do is they actually just, and I use my sage with my abalone bowl to catch the ash as well. Abalone shell. We find these down the beach. We're so blessed with where we live. I have a jar of sage here as well. I've just brought this in to show you. So what I actually do, I don't light this up and burn it. I used to do that years ago. And so what I actually do when I get one is I cut the string. My scissors work. And this is how to get more out of your sage as well. And then I pull it apart. And why do I pull it apart? Purely because I get more out of it. Sage has a beautiful smell. I tend not to use this one around children, purely for this, if I'm doing a healing with the children. For me, and this is for me and what I've noticed, sage, it removes everything from a room. So it's, imagine having your life wrote up on a whiteboard and then you just wipe it all off. That's what sage does for me. So it's great in some spaces. But because I come from a healing space or a gentle energy space, I always want the good energy left behind. And in my experience, sage doesn't leave any energy behind. I have to do this, and then I have to put good energy back into the room. I use this in many places. I use this in the caravan, the caravan park life. I do use this around the house, depending on the energy in the house. I use it at the end of a day after I've finished with clients, because I want to be able to just be careful when you're pulling it apart. So you can sort of see now what's happened. I've gone from having one stick to having 1, 2, and look, see, that's still, if you can, that's still a good amount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I've ended up with 19 little bundles, and now all these little leftover scraps, you can put these on top of your, if you want to put them on top of your disc, you can. Burns just the same. You just pop the leaves on. Now, sage is something I grew up with. Just be aware, it's the same with the frankincense and different things. Be aware of who you're using this one around, because it is really strong. It's really potent. So that's what I do with all the leftover crumbs, just leave them on top. And with this one here, I just light it exactly the same. So it is just light her up. This doesn't need to burn till it catches fire. And I just walk around and I do that. And it also means too that I don't have one of these that is half burnt out, that's sitting there smelling of ash. And this is white sage too, I should say. It is different from the garden sage. Different meanings in magic, not in healing and cleansing. So if you have grow sage at home, you can use that for cleansing energy in your space and removing it. But yeah, it just, and then too, it just refills my jar. Let me just squash this back in. But yeah, that I actually have ordered is 3 Kings. So 3 Kings is the final resin. This is like a honey. It's like it's got honey on it. Excuse me. Smoked out. I'll just put my... It's another thing cauldrons are good for. The lids are amazing. Just stop it. But now this is the 3 Kings resin. And it is a mix. And if you can sort of see, it's like a honey covered sap. Like it's a real, it's like a really nice perfume. It's amazing. You can actually see little bubbles from the tree. Like it's just come off, and look at that, it's like crystallized. Yeah, so this is a beautiful, look at that gorgeous piece. It's just divine. In regards to buying resins and things, there are a lot of frauds out there. People, you know, with the smell, if you can see that, it's like a pure piece of quartz, yellow quartz. And that's a good quality one. So it obviously always gets mixed up. It's coming off a tree, it's from nature, it's not supposed to be perfect. But I will pop a little bit on here. So see, this big charcoal one's still going. If it was a small one, it would have just burnt a little bit. I put the cauldron lid on, so I hope that I haven't put it out. No, it's still sizzling. It's just going to take a second. And, oh, yum. Yeah. Great promoter of harmony. This one just burns. And it's nice. Peace, balance. It smells like a hug. Yeah, so it just burns away like the others do. Yeah, so that is all of my resins that I burned. And I also threw in sage. I hope that's helped. Let me know if you have any questions, as always, and I'm happy to explain what I can. I've talked for a while. I'm sorry. It's been a pleasure. So bye. I'll talk to you soon.